You know that moment when you swear you're going to eat better, but by mid-afternoon, you're raiding the pantry like it's your last meal. I've been there and wondered, did I just not have what it takes? Was I destined to stay overweight? But after making a few small changes and ditching dieting for good, I stopped battling cravings and food didn't feel like a daily struggle anymore. Now, I'm not into complicated rules or spending hours in the kitchen. That's why in today's video, I'm sharing 5 simple habits that I swear by as a midlife nutrition coach. I used to think if I just had the right diet or I just tried harder, I could finally be one of those before and after success stories. But no amount of willpower was enough. Yes, hormones made it tougher, but so did my approach. And once I realized this, everything changed. So the first habit, I stopped relying on willpower and started planning ahead instead. If you hear planning and immediately think, I'm going to talk meal planning, you're only partially right. Willpower fails all of us. Even the most disciplined person is going to fail if they only rely on willpower. Think of all the decisions you have to make from the time you wake up till the time you go to bed. As many decisions as there are, that's chipping away at your willpower and decision fatigue. You might have the best of intentions at the beginning of the day, by the evening you say, just forget it, I don't care anymore, I'm gonna just eat whatever I want, do whatever I want because I'm just tired. So you've got to plan ahead. Yes, this involves planning your meals. I like to plan boring breakfast and lunch. I'm going to have the same thing every day, Monday through Friday, for breakfast and for lunch. That way I don't even have to think about it. I usually prep it on the weekends, but sometimes it's just a grab and go kind of breakfast or lunch. But I want to be boring, but make it easy for myself to follow through. I also like to plan my exercise out ahead of time. I know my schedule, I know when I can fit that in, so I'm gonna plan it like a doctor's appointment. It's one of my non-negotiables. I'm gonna get this in no matter what. So plan ahead. What are some of the meals that you're gonna eat this week? Plan ahead. What are some of your non-negotiables? Maybe it's planning your bedtime. Maybe it's planning your exercise. Maybe it's planning some fun so that it doesn't seem like a restrictive lifestyle you're putting on yourself. Key is to be flexible with the plan, but stay consistent on continuing to improve. How can you plan your plate to add more vegetables? How can you have backup plans to when you're working out or when you're gonna cook meals? Planning is being kind to future you. It's helping you follow through, and that's why it's an essential first habit to get started. I wasn't always good about planning ahead, and I used to start my mornings with maybe something grab and go, like a granola bar, a quick bowl of cereal, some waffles. But what always seemed to happen was by 10 a.m., I was so hungry and ready to eat again. And I'd beat myself up for not even being able to make it to lunch on my plan. But it was what I was eating for breakfast that was at fault. So the next habit is to start with a satisfying, protein-packed breakfast. That puts you on the right path to feeling better and sticking with your plan throughout the day. I see midlife women making this mistake so often. They think they're gonna just eat a light breakfast. They're not super hungry in the morning, so they're just gonna nibble on something. Usually it's a grab and go. A lot of times they're trying to do good by getting one of those protein bars, but when you look at that protein bar, it's actually more carbohydrate centered than protein centered, and it's really just a glorified candy bar. So my best advice is to start with a protein hearty breakfast. That's actually going to help you regulate your hunger hormones, it helps regulate your blood sugar, and you're going to feel satisfied for longer throughout the day. I like eggs, so I like to prep a frittata for the week that's easy to just get out of the refrigerator and heat up. I don't have to heat up a skillet and cook eggs every morning. So I usually pack it with some good vegetables. I have bell peppers and some spinach and maybe even some chorizo or leftover meat that I have from last week's meals. But this makes it so easy to follow through on a satisfying breakfast. And I know I'm not going to need a mid-morning snack after it as well. When I'm cooking the frittata, I always also cook some extra sausages for a little bit of extra protein. I have a little sausages and the frittata for a nice satisfying breakfast. I also have prepped Greek yogurt with some chia seeds or basil seeds and some protein powder with some berries. I encourage you to find that hearty, satisfying breakfast that's low in carbs but high in protein that's going to keep you full till lunch. That helps you stick to your plan and finally start to see the scale move. Planning ahead and getting that protein-packed breakfast to start your day really go a long way into not relying on willpower. So does this next habit. And I know you're going to say, I already know this, but are you doing it? And that is to make sure you're eating lots of colorful fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds to get in your fiber. Can you prep ahead and get colorful bell peppers and chop them? What's your standard vegetable that you're going to have at every meal? Broccoli is one of those that I have pretty much all week. I feel better when I have enough fiber. Fiber is one of those things that's so important to help balance our hormones, to regulate our blood sugar, and to help us feel more satisfied. But it's so simple that a lot of us are skipping it. Think of how you can add a lot of variety and colors, textures, and tastes to your meal plan the whole week. I love to roast chickpeas to have them for a high protein snack. You can have black beans with taco meat. I roast broccoli, so I have that as just a standard side to most dinners or sometimes my lunches. This week I'm prepping chicken salad for lunch, so it's going to have grapes, celery, it's going to have some pecans, and I'm going to put it in this little butter lettuce wraps. I always have colorful fruits that are in season to have a handy dessert after dinner. And then I'm also been adding psyllium husk and basil seeds to my morning yogurt if I'm going to have that to add in fiber. You really want to see if you can get 25 grams of fiber per day. It's going to help everything from digestion to blood sugar to feeling more satisfied with your meals. So challenge yourself, get more fiber in. See how many different colors you can eat of the fruits and vegetables. When you do that, you're slowly crowding out that processed food that isn't doing you any favors and really filling your plate with delicious real food that keeps you satisfied till the next meal. As midlife women, it's time for us to break up with the restrictive diets that tell us we have to be hungry all the time for it to work and that we have to eat boring salads. Once you lean into really loving the taste of real fruits and vegetables, eating healthy becomes so much easier. Now, it might seem like I'm contradicting myself, but with this next habit, trust me, I'm not. If you're planning your meals appropriately, getting in a lot of those colorful fruits and vegetables, eating that protein-centered breakfast, you're gonna get in most of your calories earlier in the day. So when you finish dinner, it's easy to stop eating. This has been the single most game changer habit that I've done. This is when the scale finally started moving when nothing else worked. Closing the kitchen after dinner, stop snacking, stop drinking things that have calories. Yes, that includes that glass of wine. Let your body really digest that food, and it really improves your sleep as well. So I really have leaned into this. This is the first step in intermittent fasting. The next, you might want to delay your breakfast some, but if you can just stop eating after dinner, have a cutoff that you don't eat anything else, that non-negotiable habit is going to get the scale to move. As a midlife woman, I think you have to lean into eating healthier food, the ones that your intuition tells you, those fruits and vegetables, those high quality meats. Lean into that and crowd out some of that processed food. After I got those habits dialed in, then I went to this next habit where I supplemented where I couldn't get those deficiencies up. Most people are deficient in magnesium, and this was a game changer for sleep. I also take omega-3s, vitamin B12 for my energy, vitamin D, another one that where a lot of us are deficient in. This one is this one helps your immune system, your energy levels, it helps a lot. And then the occasional time when I don't feel like I'm getting enough fruits and vegetables, I do supplement with vitamin C. Hear me say this, you can't out-supplement a bad diet. I've had many clients who've tried, but this is not the first line of defense. Eating real food, eating for nourishment, not just for entertainment. when you can dial that in, you're gonna feel better regardless of what the scale says. And in case you don't even know where to start, I've created a free supplement guide, especially for midlife women. You can check the details in the caption. Whether you feel like you've tried everything and nothing works, dial in these habits, because strong menopause women never give up. We might need a nap, we might need to adjust our strategy, but we always come back stronger. If you're looking to dive deeper, check out this video where I give you 21 weight loss hacks for menopause women just like you. Remember, you are worth the work to live a life you love. So dial in your nutrition to feel your best.